Yo, what's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to talk about the cinematic look or the 235/1 crop. I'm sure you've all seen it. You know what it looks like. It's when you take a regular video like this and then bring down those bars to give it that nice wide angle look to it. And I don't know. I just been thinking, maybe I don't necessarily need to do that for every video that I make, especially stuff like this, like my YouTube content. Interviews, I don't really use that, cinematic look for it, mainly just for music videos. But even like things like a promotional video or, something that's very B-roll heavy, do I necessarily need it to have that cinematic look? I also had to take into consideration like the way people are viewing videos now, especially, for the most part, nobody's sitting in the living room watching stuff like this, or even a music video on TV. They're most likely using their phone, right? And so looking on that small space, am I really giving them a good quality visual to be staring at on their phone? Or have I taken something away by adding those black bars to it? So it's something that I've been going back and forth with. I mean, there is a right way to do it and obviously a wrong way. I'll show you a couple of ways that people do it, the way I prefer to do it. And I don't know, you guys tell me what you think. Leave a comment in YouTube. Do you think that cinematic look is necessary, especially for music videos? My last one, I mean, I didn't bother with it. I kind of just liked everything the way it looked in camera. I added the black bars, or I didn't add the black bars, I'll get to that later, but I gave it that cinematic aspect ratio, right? And it wasn't really hitting with me, so got rid of it. I just stuck with the standard 16 by 9, 1920 by 1080, and I liked it. I liked the way it looked. I liked the way it looked on the computer screen. I liked the way it looked on the TV. I liked the way it looked on the phone, especially, which is probably the way most people are going to look at it anyway. Let me show you a way that I get that cinematic look, and then you let me know what you guys think, your opinions on that look. Is it necessary for all videos or some? I go back and forth. I think I'm just gonna have to go with a project by project base, and see what I think. Does it look good with that cinematic look or not? And then just maybe take that route, So I'm not necessarily saying I'm done with that look, because it definitely works with a lot of stuff. But if I don't think it needs it, then I'm not gonna force that into it, because then you're finding yourself adjusting other clips in there, where the head is probably maybe a little bit too high. So you gotta bring down the file image or whatever so that it's not being covered by that space that you clipped off the top, right? So let me show you two ways to get that cinematic look accomplished in Adobe Premiere. The first one is just doing a standard crop, and the second one is my preference by going into our sequence settings, okay? All right, so here we are in Adobe Premiere Pro. We got our clip here, and we're going to add the cinematic look to it with the first way, which is a way that I see a lot of people doing it, and that's simply to just add 2 black bars to it. And the way we accomplish that is by first creating an adjustment layer. Then I'm just gonna click and drag that over here. I'm not gonna drag it over the whole thing, but just right there. And then we're gonna go to effects, and then just put crop in the search window here, and then it'll pop up. It's under video effects, and then transform. So just add that crop effect, and then go into your effects panel here, or your editing, and then just add 10% to the top and 10% to the bottom. And that is how you add that cinematic look to it, pretty fast and simple. And that's the way I see a lot of people do it. But there is another way to do it. And the thing is, like, this is, data. This is creating file sizes, because your export is gonna create pixels, and it needs to create this black pixels for every frame. So it's adding to your file, right? So let me show you another way to do it, and it's my preferred way. It's pretty simple too. Just go into your sequence settings, And then under frame size here, we're gonna change this 1080 to 803. And then just hit OK. And then you're gonna get this warning here, just hit OK for that. And then bam. So I like that look. I like the way it looks. I just like viewing it this way without the black bars. I can see what I got. I can still make my adjustments vertically if I want her to be a little more up some. You know, that looks cool. Let me show you another clip here. Just show you how that all works. And that looks pretty good. So this is my preferred way of doing the cinematic look. Now, there is a clip here that I think, take this one for instance, I don't necessarily think this needed to be in that cinematic look. Let me I hit Control Z and kind of moved it around here. You know, I kind of like the way that looks too, right? Like it doesn't look bad. You know, it doesn't look, you know, terrible. She's in frame. So I can see where I would probably leave this one the way it is and I would want to keep this like that. So it's just a matter of having that preference, right? You know, I could go either way with it. It looks good like this, but the cinematic look just as good. So I guess it's a matter of what do I have more content that looks good in either or way, right? And also, what am I using this for? Am I using this to view on a television? Is this for social media? If this was for social media, I probably wouldn't use the cinematic look. And that's the good thing about using these sequence settings is that I can set this to something other than 1920 by 1080 or also that cinematic look to adjust for mobile. So if somebody's just looking at this on their phone, how would that look? So I'm just flipping the numbers around, hit OK again, and then that's our mobile look, you know? So obviously I gotta make my adjustments here. And then my LUTs aren't lining up properly, but we'll worry about that another day. And then seeing how that looks, right? I mean, so it's all a matter of what you're shooting for. So that's my conundrum. I don't know. I mean, I like the cinematic look. It looks great for some things, but I get that it's not necessarily needed for every single video shoot that I do. Maybe for some, but definitely not for all of them. You got to ask yourself what you're shooting for. Things are very social media heavy, so a lot of your stuff is probably going to have to be vertical, right? And you got to shoot for that and making sure your subject is a little bit more centered at all times, or whatever it is you're shooting. You probably want to be a little bit more on the center line as opposed to shooting for a wide angle. But let me know what you all think, man. I mean, I like the cinematic look still, but I don't think it's necessary for everything. If you got any questions about the way I set it up, if you got any questions about the sequence settings, just let me know. Hit me up. Again, thank you all for watching this. Like it, subscribe it. Until the next one. Peace.